What's up, wrestling fans? My name is Jay Leto, and this is the Jay Leto Show right here on YouTube, but first on patreon.com/PWPNation. And I call this segment Booking the Finish. I've done these in the past, and I'm going to do one again right here because I had this epiphany, man. I was thinking about the Kofi Kingston storyline, Kofi's road to WrestleMania, and something occurred to me. I was curious on why WWE seems to be rushing this story. And look, WrestleMania is right around the corner, and I get it. This is a time where you want to push what people are hot on, what people are feeling, what people are into. But sometimes the heel has to win. So on our road to WrestleMania, we're in a situation where we need the Universal Championship off Brock Lesnar. We need the Raw Women's Championship off Ronda Rousey. But do we really need the WWE title off Daniel Bryan? In this episode of Booking the Finish, I will talk to you about why Kofi Kingston should lose at WrestleMania 35. But we will talk more about what's next for Kofi. So let's kick this thing off with a couple plugs. My name is Jay Leto. You can follow me on Twitter at JLeto. That's ALLETTO. PWPNation.com is the website. So if you're here, if you're watching this, thank you so much for supporting, whether it's Patreon, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, wherever I post this content. Thank you so much for at least giving me a minute of your time. This won't be a long video. We'll make this pretty quick. So here's the first thing, man. We're on our way to WrestleMania 35, and Daniel Bryan's on fire, doing the best work of his career. So all I have to say is, why not continue the best work of his career? Why rush this? Why end this championship run? I don't think they should. I don't think they should do it just because Kofi Kingston is hot right now. Because my issue is what's next. What is next for Kofi Kingston? And that's what we're going to get into. So here we are. We're at WrestleMania 35. Kofi versus Bryan. Back and forth. Amazing match. We have New Day at ringside cheering on. We've got Erick Rowan at ringside cheering on. Right? But what if Kofi Kingston is unsuccessful here? Now, I see this scenario going down like this. Kofi Kingston is locked in the label lock. Never taps out, but passes out. Reminiscent of Stone Cold Steve Austin in the Sharpshooter at WrestleMania 13. Kofi Kingston passes out, never quits, never pinned, but he fights until the very last breath. So what's next? What is next here? SmackDown Live is next. Now, SmackDown Live just 2 days after WrestleMania. One more time, they run it back. Somehow, some way, there's a championship number one contender match. Kofi Kingston wins. Amazingly, he wins. He gets another title shot that night on SmackDown Live. This is where we see the return of Luke Harper. Okay, now, This is where it gets interesting for me, because now you're evening the odds. You've got the New Day. You've got Bryan, Harper, and Rowan. This match is disqualification. Nobody wins. Kofi Kingston, he wins via disqualification. Let's put it that way. He wins via disqualification. Shortly thereafter, in a move that is kind of what WWE seems to be doing right now. It's in their wheelhouse, okay? WWE posts on their website, on their social media channels, that the New Day's contract is expiring on this date. Let's say Money in the Bank on May 19th. Okay? So we know that this could be the final night that we see the New Day inside the WWE. Once again, reminiscent to a storyline that worked in the past. We're doing the hits here, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing the greatest hits. We're going with CM Punk's storyline in 2011, the Summer of Punk, where Punk was the WWE champion and literally took this title away from WWE, lost his contract with WWE, did not re-sign, took the title, and went home. Now what happened, what the problem was here is WWE did not do the right thing to follow up. This is where we fixed that problem. So New Day gets the Money in the Bank, May 19th. Okay? Also, on the other side of it, try not to confuse anybody, we've got Daniel Bryan, we've got Luke Harper, we've got Erick Rowan. They are now called They are now a faction. This is legit. They're a faction. We've changed Harper's look a little bit. He's a little more clean cut. This is a faction. We call it Planet Yes, or something like that. Something ridiculous, some kind of marketing ploy to continue to sell merchandise for Daniel Bryan and these guys. I'm calling it Planet Yes. I'm saying Daniel Bryan brings back Yes and owns it and makes it different. Should we recycle? Yes. Should we be environmentally conscious? Yes. Should we look down upon those who drive SUVs and burn gas and put emissions into the air and whatnot? Yes. So Daniel Bryan could bring this whole Planet Yes thing. You could have merchandising with some kind of planet-looking type deal. He can talk constantly about how he would have the world be his own on Planet Yes. I like the idea. Maybe it's something different, but this is where my brain is going. So Bryan, Harper, and Rowan are now basically unstoppable. We're on the road to Money in the Bank. They're unstoppable. We've got this situation now, okay, where New Day's contracts are up. They're doing these social media posts talking about how serious this is, just like they did in the build-up to Kofi's last shot to get into WrestleMania. They were talking about the future, all this stuff. This is a scenario where you turn the volume up to 10. You're at about a 4 right now. You crank it up to 10. You make it super serious. You have them elaborate on these things that they were saying in social media posts and on promos on SmackDown Live. You talk about the very real possibility that New Day is leaving WWE. Only this time you get to Money in the Bank. Now, Kofi Kingston has his final shot now. His final shot. And this could be the tipping point. They're talking about this on the road to Money in the Bank. They're talking about what it would take for them to re-sign with WWE. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, who's got a contract open for New Day. He doesn't necessarily want them to leave. But then again, he's okay with it if it happens. He's not putting up the fight like he did to keep CM Punk back in 2011. He's not acting that way at all. He's perfectly content with however this plays out. But of course, he still does not want Kofi Kingston as the WWE champion. So Kofi Kingston's in this Money in the Bank ladder match. Meanwhile, Xavier Woods and Big E Langston are doing whatever on the show. I keep calling him Big E Langston, but you get my drift. They're doing whatever on the show. They're in a tag team title match. They're fighting a tag team match against Harper and Rowan, possibly. Daniel Bryan's defending the title against somebody else, whoever it might be. Mustafa Ali, you could make it. Just dominantly defending and winning in clean fashion because Bryan needs some clean wins. So Kofi comes up just short to Money in the Bank. I don't know who ends up winning it, but he comes up just short. New Day makes up their mind that following SmackDown after Money in the Bank. We're now at May 21st, 2019. And they're leaving WWE. But this time, when they leave WWE, we have a big farewell for them. SmackDown Live is dedicated to them leaving. It's a big deal. Fans are upset. You have now worked everybody. This is a situation like Dean Ambrose, where it's serious. Fans believe that New Day is gone. So they're leaving WWE, and this is what you do. You keep them away from WWE. Kofi Kingston, in everybody's mind, has now failed as to become WWE champion. This journey is over, right? But then, we start getting, after maybe a couple weeks, you maybe take the gas off for 2 weeks. Then you kind of push it back into gear and you say, all right, we're in the summer now. We're in June. New Day starts reappearing on social media. Xavier Woods is doing video game stuff. Big E is doing bodybuilding stuff. Kofi is spending time with his family. And you can just document their journeys. You're giving them some needed time off. Some time off that they deserve. Meanwhile, you're keeping them fresh when they return. At the same time on SmackDown, you're building up Planet Yes, man. Bryan is killing it. Harper and Rowan on fire. Give Harper and Rowan the tag team titles back. Luke Harper needs something to do. There's no reason why he should be excluded from this. Give them the tag team titles back. Okay, Bryan's the WWE champion. This freaking faction is gigantic. They're becoming the real deal. So now we're like moving forward. We're into SummerSlam time. We got big stuff going on. Right after SummerSlam, we hear news that New Day is back in negotiations with WWE to return. But they've been appearing on indies. They've maybe shown up at Evolve. possibly have been in the crowd at some point. You don't want to take the gas off this completely, all right? You want to do, and WWE's a master at this stuff. This is where I don't have the experience to kind of fill in all the blanks here, and I wouldn't want to bore you guys with the minute details anyway, but there are a number of things you can do with New Day to keep them relevant and in the public eye without having them be on WWE contracts. You could add them to the alumni section. You can do a video like checking in on them, maybe a sit-down interview or something. They don't have to be on bad terms with WWE. They could just be leaving. Meanwhile, you could also bring it up in the future. Stephanie McMahon could talk about it. Triple H, Shane McMahon, they could talk to Vince, say, listen, what about New Day? We let these guys go. These guys still have a lot. Use some realism in this storyline, even though it's a complete storyline, it's a work. Make it feel real, and they have the opportunity to do that here. So right before, we're getting close to Survivor Series now. We're in November. New Day is coming back to WWE. And they're only coming back if they can fight Planet Yes at Survivor Series. Now, this is where finally, after so much time away, after Planet Yes being on absolute fire, New Day defeats Planet Yes at Survivor Series. Now your storyline is going, man. The road to the Royal Rumble is going. And look, every single year, there are a few things at the Royal Rumble that we all look forward to. And one thing is Kofi Kingston's crazy ways where he does not get eliminated. Okay, that is been a running joke for a decade, maybe more now. I can't even go back that far. 10 years, I think. Every year for 10 years, he's done some crazy way to like keep himself in the Royal Rumble. Probably slightly less than that, but this Royal Rumble, however, McMahon is still on the New Day's ass. We're in the winter now. We're in December. We know how WWE handles December. It's kind of going into like, a cruise control type mode. Now we're on Fox. SmackDown's on Fox. This New Day coming back story is going to be huge for Fox ratings. It's going to be fantastic. Fox can talk about it, hype it up. I've been all over the place with this, but I'm excited about it. So you're building up to Royal Rumble. Now, here's where I would make it interesting, okay? Here's where I'll make it interesting. McMahon forces the New Day. They're in the Rumble, but he picks their numbers. All right? Oh, no, this is what happens. This is what we do. I fucked that up. This is what we do. New Day is forced into a beat the clock challenge. All right? Beat the clock for New Day, determining their Royal Rumble entrance. Right? Whoever comes in first place and beat the clock is number 30. Number 30 in the Rumble. Because this is going to be kind of fair for them. They've come back. They've negotiated some stuff in their contracts. This is fair play now. Second place, number 15 in the Rumble. Third place is number 1 in the Rumble. So now, we have this dilemma. Kofi Kingston, right? The fans are still clamoring. Kofi Mania is still on fire. Now we have Kofi Mania t-shirts. Now we have all kinds of Kofi Mania shit. It could have happened at WrestleMania 35, but where's all the merch? Where's all the marketing behind it? Why not build it till WrestleMania 36? Now we're at the Rumble. The final 3 in the Rumble are Kofi Kingston, Big E, and whoever else. Name the top heel at the time, whoever it might be. There's a situation where Big E and the heel are fighting, and Kofi literally dumps them both over the top rope. This is where your story starts to get very interesting. Big E is pissed. Big E's upset. He doesn't like this, but still he's super happy that Kofi is going to WrestleMania once again. And we come full circle. Now we have the traditional build to WrestleMania. You can go back a year and tell this entire story of Kofi Kingston against Daniel Bryan. 1 year later, guys, this is the kind of shit WWE needs to do. These are the kind of stories that WWE needs to tell. Stuff that takes time. Not something where they're switching gears from day to day to day, week to week. Let's do something over the long run. Let's commit. Let's commit to a story. Let's commit to Kofi Mania. Let's get him to WrestleMania 36 in a one-on-one match with Daniel Bryan. This is where Kofi Kingston has his moment. This is where he finally defeats Daniel Bryan. Giant celebration. He's not going to be overlooked by the Ronda Rousey, Charlotte, Becky match or by the Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar match. This has been built for a year. This is gigantic. This is your number 1 program at WrestleMania. By the way, I forgot to touch on this. At that Royal Rumble that Kofi wins, he goes from 1 to the end. He's already solidified himself as the Iron Man. These gauntlet matches. That Elimination Chamber match after match after match, Kofi has solidified himself as an Iron Man. Have him go from 1 to 30, win the thing. find all these different intricate ways to avoid elimination. There are so many ways you can do this. You can do this 5 times within this match where he avoids elimination in some kind of haphazard, crazy way. Brings back the greatest hits. Maybe does the handstand thing again. Maybe jumps on the chair again. Maybe Spider-Man's to the announce table, whatever. Do it in a way that is unique, that is the greatest hits in a way, but he keeps saving himself. So Big E's a little bit upset, but then hugs Kofi at the end of the Rumble and everything's good. Kofi wins at WrestleMania. Now, if you want to split the New Day after this, if you want to turn Big E, I would turn Big E on both of them if you do split them. I would not split the New Day now at all, but in a year, maybe. You could turn Big E on both of them. Big E is now the heel. Big E versus Kofi for the title. Guys, that's a year worth of Kofi Kingston storyline. Planet Yes still going at this point. You're a year into Planet Yes. You can break them apart at the end of WrestleMania 36. Do whatever you want with it. Whatever you're going to do with Daniel Bryan. But look, you've accomplished a few things here to put kind of a bow on this video. You've accomplished a bunch of shit here. Kofi Kingston, you turn his run into a year run instead of what could be just a few months of a run. They might switch gears right after WrestleMania 35 if he wins. Who knows? You have a year run with him. You're building up validity in the New Day and giving them time off. You're doing something different. Real life. You end their contracts. They leave WWE. They do different stuff. Work indies, whatever. Meet and greet fans all over the world. This is something that they deserve. They've been on the road for how many years straight? Why not give them some time off? Additionally, you build up Daniel Bryan and this dominant faction of Planet Yes. They're running SmackDown Live. They're crushing it. Harper and Rowan become the tag team champions. Daniel Bryan still the WWE champion. Defending, winning. This is how you build up momentum. This is how you clamor for the fans to get something new, to want somebody to beat Daniel Bryan and Planet Yes. And that's going to be New Day because you bring them back. You bring them back after Money in the Bank when Kofi Kingston was just within a hair of grabbing that briefcase and re-signing with WWE and getting that title shot. But instead, New Day loses the whole night and they decide that that's it. They're done. So however you decide to screw him over at Money in the Bank, whatever you decide to do, maybe it's with Planet Yes. Who knows? You build your way to Royal Rumble. They come back at Survivor Series. They finally beat Planet Yes. It's their first loss as a three-way, as a three-man team. They finally lose to New Day. Now you're on the road to Royal Rumble. Kofi wins, eliminates Big E. And now you can go forward to WrestleMania 36 in Tampa. Kofi versus Bryan on top. Kofi finally wins the title. Big celebration, huge celebration, SmackDown Live. If you want to do it, Big E turns on Kofi and Xavier, beats them both down. And now you have your New Day split. Guys, I'm Jay Leto. Thank you so much for watching this edition of Booking the Finish. If you enjoyed this video and you have not yet, please hit the subscribe button below. Turn on all notifications. Check us out at pwpnation.com and all social media outlets, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and don't forget, we do have a Patreon account, patreon.com/pwpnation for additional content that you won't find anywhere else, and we'll be first on Patreon and then to YouTube and then to iTunes and other avenues. So thank you so much for watching. I'm out of here. Peace.